Welcome to Off Topic with Tim and Matt, our scrappy little sports podcast where we always go off topic. Okay, we're going to keep it a little local. Whitecaps last night. Something very big happened.
4 goals.
Four goals.
Brian White scored 4 goals against Austin.
That is crazy. I didn't see the game myself.
No,
But
I'm not a
that
big
is nuts.
soccer guy.
No.
But, you know, when you look at stuff like that, soccer games are usually 1-0, 2-1. Like
0-0 aggregate.
Yeah. You know, one guy to score 4 goals. I mean, that's like half his total stats for the year in one game.
That is insane.
And I guess, and Austin's a pretty good team. So,
Sure.
I mean, you got to think that that was hard. It wasn't easy.
There was Nike had a commercial decades ago. I think the World Cup was in the U.S., maybe France. I can't remember. Anyway, and it's the Brazilian soccer team where all the all-stars juggling the ball through the airport, and Ronaldo gets the last kick. And, you know, there's the little stanchions they have, the ribbons to keep people in line.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he hits the post, and all the kids are like, oh. Yeah, 4 goals against anybody in soccer is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Champions League, the world went a little nuts because Arsenal beat Real 3-0,
Yep.
which in standings doesn't really translate because the next game they play, they have to beat them 4-0 for Arsenal to advance, which isn't going to happen. But Declan Rice scored 2 free kicks in exactly the same spot from 2 different angles. So they set the ball in the same spot, and he hit the net. Like, here's the top corner of the net. He put it, like, right there.
Oh.
And one arced left to right, the other one arced right to left.
Jeez.
From the same spot in the same game.
Yeah.
And Arsenal hadn't got a free kick in 20 years. I don't follow soccer enough, but anyway. But now, in other news in Whitecaps,
Yes.
will Lionel Messi finally play in Vancouver? And a lot of soccer fans were kind of mad the last time because he was supposed to play, got injured, didn't even go to the game, and then played at the next game afterwards. And people bought tickets like sold out just to get a glimpse of Lionel Messi playing, the best player in the world, one of the best all time. And it simply didn't happen. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing is, you know, so the last time I do believe he was injured leading up to it.
yeah.
And decided to take the Vancouver game off as an extra game off before getting back into it. The thing is, nobody told Vancouver, right? And they had decided this weeks beforehand that he wasn't going to come to Vancouver, but nobody told Vancouver. So you had people buying like the day before $1,000 tickets.
Yeah,
to
big
go,
money. Big
to show
money.
up, and he wasn't like. They would have been happy to see him standing on the sidelines, with
Signing
his team.
some autographs, waving at the fans, something. And he wasn't
Didn't
even
come
there.
to Vancouver. Didn't even get on the plane.
Yeah.
So it was crushing. I know a lot of people that were upset about it. A lot of people bought tickets early,
Yeah.
and then you know when they did find out, they were trying to dump the tickets, so you could get in there for $1 pretty much. You know, and it wasn't a great look for soccer in general.
No.
You
And
know?
he's a mega superstar. He's in his twilight,
Yeah,
and he comes to MLS because David Beckham paid him a lot of money to come to MLS. And David Beckham, he plays for
Miami.
Inter Miami.
Yeah,
I can never remember. It's Miami United, Inter Miami. So Beckham buys the franchise for, I don't know, a few million, and then gets Messi, and he comes up with the pink jerseys, and the team is valued at like $300 million. But Lionel Messi's not going to get out of bed for a MLS soccer game that doesn't have to. The guy won the World Cup, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just there for the money to keep playing because Beckham called him. It's no big deal to him. And what the hell does he know? He played at Barca for like 20 years.
but it's funny
Played in
too.
the biggest stadiums in the world. Like his mindset is completely different. He doesn't appreciate that Vancouver soccer fans don't get to see guys like Lionel Messi every week like they do when you're living in,
Spain, Portugal.
Spain or Portugal or England, right?
Yeah,
It just doesn't work that way. So anyway.
Well, and I know we've talked about Ted Lasso, the show, before.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And one of the jokes there is that their older guy on the team, and he's finished up in their league because
Yeah.
he's washed up, right?
Right.
He's like, well, what am I going to do? I can go to America and dominate over there. Washed up in the England league, but dominate in the American league.
Right.
And that's what you see these guys at the twilight of their career come over here to still make some more bucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Thierry Henry got a huge contract to go play in the States. Didn't even last that long, but just do it for the money, right?
Do it for the money.
And it works. I mean, people show up to see, and they sell the tickets. You know, God, the original LA Galaxy contract for David Beckham was hundreds of millions of dollars. And he got there, and he just hated it.
Well, yeah, but Posh Spice wanted to live in LA.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know?
she wanted to live in LA because they could walk down the street and nobody cared.
No, yeah.
He was in Real. He's trying to tuck his kid into the car seat, and paparazzis are ripping the outside door open, sticking the camera in his kid's face. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was like, what are you people doing? He's like looking at his photographer, like, why are you in my car? Like,
And you know, like she's a star in her own, one of the Spice Girls.
Was.
Yeah, they were pretty big when they were out, you know.
Was.
And then, I mean, he's a superb athlete.
Yeah.
And a well-known face for his modeling and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And they blend into the woodwork in LA,
Yeah.
right? But they stand out anywhere else they go.
Yeah.
So, you know, they came here for the peace and quiet, and he got paid a ton of money to do it.
Yeah. And then he tried to get out of it, and the owner's like, no, we had a contract.
Yeah, we paid you a lot of money. And he's like, well, I don't need the money. I don't want the money. He's like, well, I need you to make me more money. So,
Sorry, I got $100 million reasons why you're.
so sticking with football, we'll go to the other kind of football.
Yeah, the kind we like.
NFL
NFL
football.
Pre-draft.
Pre-draft. We're not here next week. When we get
Easter.
back, as the draft's going to be over, so we're going to do an analyzation of how wrong I was on what we're going to talk about here today.
Everything fell. You know, last year you followed the script that everyone was saying, who's
Yeah.
going first, second, third, fourth, and it fell into place exactly like everyone said it would.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. Like there wasn't a single deviation. This year, I'm having trouble getting excited about it.
Oh, I'm so excited about it.
I mean, you know, Cam Ward. You know, there's a bit of debate who's going to go first overall. Won't be Shedeur Sanders. I'm pretty sure of that.
No, they got
Travis
him.
Hunter, Abdul Clark, or Cam Ward. And it really depends on Tennessee.
Tennessee.
What
So,
Tennessee? Tennessee, I think, has a quarterback.
They got a young quarterback in Will Levis who didn't do great to start, got benched, came back, got benched, came back. So he's been kind of up and down.
Right.
He's a young guy, but they didn't have much of an O-line. They didn't have much. They didn't have a staff around him.
They're just a bad team. I mean, they're one of these teams that kind of needs everything because they're just a bad team, right?
And they went from just about beating the Chiefs,
Yeah.
when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl a few years back, to this bad team in a matter of just a couple of years. And
Yeah.
that's all it takes: free agency, injuries, and all of a sudden that great core that you had is gone.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, so right now they've got Cam Ward going to Tennessee. This is I pull up one mock draft. But if we can grab my screen here for a sec, Wayne, this is the prospect rankings. It's actually Ashton Genty, who is the running back from Boise State, who's the highest graded player available. Now they don't have him going in the mock draft, right? Until
Oh, wow. There's several different mock drafts because I saw him going to the Raiders.
number 10, yes. And
Yeah.
that's so 6 and 10 are the two spots. The Raiders and the Bears need a running back. So
The Raiders or the Bears, did the Bears get some O-line guys? I can't remember.
yes.
Bears beefed up their
They
O-line. Okay,
beefed
so that makes a little
into-
bit of sense.
Inner O-line.
Yeah.
So their guards and their center, they brought people in.
Yeah.
Right? They've got two young tackles that weren't bad last year.
Yeah.
It was their middle that was what was
Okay.
rough. See, Vegas, they've got taken the number one receiver, 6'4", 219 pounds, runs like a deer, can catch the ball just about anywhere from here to the moon.
Right.
Right? So they got the Raiders taking him. So I see the Raiders going either way there. Right? So, but Cam Ward, Travis Hunter going to Cleveland, which I like this idea here because Cleveland has a lot of holes to fill. This is a great idea.
And you can play other side of the ball. So if you need a corner, you can play corner. If you need a wide receiver, you can be your wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback in Cleveland? Did something change?
Well, DeAndre,
I know they gave Joe Flacco. I heard it said they gave Joe Flacco a 1-year contract.
Deshaun Watson.
Is he still playing?
But he tore his ACL at the end of last year. So they don't know if he's going to even be able to play this year. It might not be till the end of the year. So they brought Joe Flacco in
Right.
as kind of that bridge 1-year contract.
To put him in the playoffs a few years ago, and then didn't re-sign him, which
Yeah, which is crazy. Crazy.
It's Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's just one of these, like, how does this franchise still exist?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you look like the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Why do you still exist?
Because they just kind of make the playoffs on a regular basis and then they're trash. Then they kind of make the playoffs and then they're trash.
Cincinnati? No.
No, these guys.
Yeah, they
Cincinnati.
sort of make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Cincinnati gets a bunch of draft picks, good draft picks, builds up, gets almost to the playoffs, and then they're horrible again.
Yeah.
So
That's the Reds.
that's the Reds.
Yeah.
Cleveland does the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The Giants, lots of needs, but shoring up their defense would be a smart starting step for them. They do have they got a quarterback over there. Oh, I can't remember. They signed somebody, went to them.
I know. Drawing the blank. They have a quarterback, so
Fields went to the Jets.
they got somebody.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fields.
look at that. There's a headline.
What's that?
LSU receiver
Yeah.
24. When did that happen?
Oh, Karen Lacey was found dead
Holy smokes.
last night.
Holy smokes.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah.
Well, that kind of...
We have to take a look at that in a second here. So I just go ahead and quick chart, draw it to the Giants depth chart.
So much
Russell
that-
Wilson.
Thank
Russell
you.
Wilson. That's who it was.
All right, so
So they got a bridge quarterback, so they don't need a quarterback right away.
No.
Right? So
And that's where they can grab a Gabriel Dillon.
yeah,
and get a
exactly.
mentor up, right?
Later on in the draft, right? That Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Right. I love the Patriots because they've got Drake May. They get the best offensive lineman in the draft. Will Campbell.
Smart move. It's like your Chargers took
Yeah.
the young guy last year.
Yeah.
Alt.
Yeah.
Smart move. Not a sexy pick, just a smart pick. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, this draft, like last year, there were about 4 guys from Bo Nix to Drake May to Caleb Williams, whomever, that could change a team. This year, it's like pieces of the puzzle. You got to have the right player and the right team to fit, and then it'll sort of work out. But
here's the thing: is like the teams have the ability this year to take the best available player because there's depth to this draft.
Yeah.
Last year there wasn't a lot of depth. There was
stars,
but 2 or 3 of them at the top of each division.
Yeah.
Like running back, edge rusher,
Right.
safeties, corners. So
Well, there are 3 quarterbacks too: Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix.
yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of top, really good quarterbacks for one draft. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
This year, I've been reading the previews on a lot of guys like that.
Jane Daniels. You forgot Jane Daniels.
Jane Daniels too, right?
Yeah,
like,
he even beat up Bo Nix in that list. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but it's the quarterbacks this year that aren't great.
No.
You don't have that 4 or 5 top ones.
No.
But the receivers,
Are
you
big.
have 15 of them.
that's crazy.
It's just nuts how deep the receiver group is. The running backs, there's talent going to be found in day 3
Yeah.
in running back, right? So because they do Thursday night, they do round 1. Friday they'll do 2 and 3, and then Saturday they do 4 to 7, right? And then on Saturday there's going to be running backs that you're going to see starting next year.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like just the amount of talent that's there.
Every kid wants to go first overall to tell their grandkids they're a first overall pick. If they were smart, it's like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not going to do too well at this combine. Then you go to the team that maybe won the Super Bowl and say, hey, I'm sandbagging. Pick me 30 to go to a good team, right? Jaromir Jagr wanted to go to the Pittsburgh Penguins so bad that he lied to all the other teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Said, I'm not going to the draft. I'm not leaving Czechoslovakia. And then called the Pittsburgh, said, pick me up. I just lied to everybody. And that's why Jagr went.
Yeah.
It was the smartest move. That's why I love Jaromir Jagr. He never should have left Pittsburgh, but whatever. It's just-
Yeah.
That's what, if I was a kid and, I wanted to go to the NFL and I'm picked to go top 5, I just lied to everybody. So, I'm going back to college next year and you call one team you want to get drafted by and you're my favorite team, just pick me.
Well,
You're probably getting tons of crap for it, but just do it anyway.
And there's 2 running backs that are Genty, and then there's Marion Hampton.
Yeah.
And the receivers are deep. The quarterbacks aren't horrible. Maybe
No.
three or 4.
Yeah.
Most of them are going to be second,
Backups.
3rd round picks
And backups.
Yeah. The receiver group is huge. The tight end group is also quite deep as
That's
well.
big. That's good.
Yeah.
And the tight end is,
Yeah, it's a huge need.
yeah.
So
You can never have too many tight ends.
I keep seeing the Michigan tight end, who was Jim Harbaugh buddy,
Okay.
right, going to the Chargers, which I really like because the
Yeah.
kid's 6'6", 248 pounds, and he's like super fast.
I'm a big fan of that Penn State kid.
Warren.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tyler Warren.
They got him going. They got him going high. They got him
sure.
going really high up in the draft here. Where is it?
See,
14th.
14th.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. For me, that's low.
See, and I thought there's a lot of them are saying he ain't going to make it out of the top 10, but when you look at the teams that are up there, that's not a need,
No, that's
right?
right.
And
Yeah,
so tight end, linebacker, running back are need positions,
Yeah.
right? If you got your big board and you've got your guys ranked, so here's what they do in their war room is they rank everybody in the draft, and as they're selected, they scratch them off,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't have a specific need,
yeah.
you go next best player on your board.
Right, yeah.
If you have a specific need, you're eyeballing who's available in that need. So Chargers, in my opinion, need pass catchers, tight end, wide receiver.
Right.
So their board's going to be, those guys are going to be highlighted in red.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to scratch people off. If there's somebody above a pass catcher,
Yeah.
it's got to be someone that's pulling their socks off.
Yeah.
For them to grab them and not drop and get that pass catcher.
Yeah.
So do the Chargers straight up and try and get one of the guys like a Tyler Warren?
Yeah.
Because Tyler Warren can line up anywhere.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland, same thing. They can line up anywhere.
They're machines.
So they're absolute machines at tight end that can play the X out wide. You know?
The beautiful thing about a tight end, though, is that you've got a big blocker and a receiver in one. Every wide receiver has a blocking role.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing. They're not 6'4", 250 pounds, and they're like, 185, so.
Yeah, you got Matthew Golden's going to be out there. He's an excellent receiver. You've got these huge, lanky receivers, and then you've got these huge, beefed up tight ends.
It'll be interesting. The draft day is always...
Oh, I love draft.
It's fun, but then reality kicks in what happens the next year, right? Anybody can draft overall, but...
Well,
anyway.
what we've also noticed is drop off of free agent signings, right?
Everyone's just waiting.
Because...
That much depth, everyone's just waiting.
Like the first couple of weeks are like, bang.
Yeah.
And now teams are going to go do stuff, and then you're going to see free agent sightings, maybe some trades, move some bodies around, whatnot. But the draft coming up, so it's Thursday the 24th?
Sure.
Yeah, Thursday the 24th. And it's going to be in Green Bay.
In Green Bay.
In the Bay of the Greens.
To go off topic,
Off topic.
I watched a good sports movie last night. It's based on sports. Somewhere in Queens with Ray Romano.
Okay.
He's a working class. His family runs a construction company in Queens, and his kid's a pretty good high school basketball player.
Oh, I see.
And suddenly, the scout taps him on the shoulder and says, he could go some small college somewhere. And Dad gets a little...
Wild.
And makes a couple of mistakes. It's actually a very good movie, very touching film. It's about family.
Yeah.
Really, it's about family and ambitions and,
Yeah.
trying to compensate for your own missteps in life. But it's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah. I don't know I don't think I've watched it. I think I've seen pieces of it.
Yeah, Somewhere in Queens. It came out 2022. I just heard about it.
Huh.
So-
I'll check that one out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched it. So I think we covered this last time we were here. The wildest thing about this draft is that every team owns its first round pick.
Yeah.
And
No one traded up.
It does not happen very often. No trades.
No.
Nobody's picking for somebody else. Just for the first round. The second round gets ugly. There's a lot of bouncing around.
Oh, well.
But for now,
Makes it interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Like,
2 weeks.
subscribe, comment. Easter, eat some chocolate,
Yeah.
have a ham,
Ham it up.
ham it up.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment. You're camping, aren't you?
I am.
Where are you camping?
Golden Ears. We're up in the Golden Ears, so it's a beautiful area.
Bring your
up
sweater.
there. Yeah, it's gonna be chilly at night. It gets chilly at night, but beautiful during the day. It's supposed to be sunny next weekend.
We camp there pretty much every other year.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah.
Just love it. Okay. Like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you on Off Topic with Tim and Matt, where we always go off topic. Woo!